What's going on? Real quick before we start this episode, if you are looking to get real results now that we're into summer, you want to look beach ready, you want to lose that unwanted fat once and for all and build some new muscle, this is your chance to get those real results. Go ahead and DM me personally on Instagram. My Instagram is at ColossusFit, ColossusFit, with the keyword real results, so I know you're coming from this, so I can hook you up with a special offer to get started with my one-on-one online coaching, where I will take care of your training, your nutrition, your planning, your accountability. Everything will be totally done for you so you can get these better results faster. Once again, be sure to shoot me a message on Instagram to @ColossusFit with the keyword real results, and I can't wait to get you in some phenomenal shape. Now into the episode. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fit, Healthy, and most of all Happy podcast. I'm your fired up coach and fired up co-coach Josh here with
his co-host and co-coach KG, and I'm in the house.
I think I'm really fired up because I'm just pumped about this episode because this is something we're incredibly passionate about. I just feel like nonsense is an all-time high. More and more, it seems like the general population, obviously not you guys because you're amazing and you're listening to the Fit, Healthy, and Happy podcast, but are looking for these quick secret sauces to change everything. The one food that's going to magically make you lose fat, gain muscle. But instead, it's the themes. And that's why in this episode, we're going to be talking about the best diet to easily lose that fat and gain new muscle. But I know Kyle has some great points, so take it away, Kyle.
Yeah, and just had to mention, we just had a donut before filming this and fit it into our macros, still hitting protein, still hitting calories, still at a great point in our fitness journey. And that's what's cool about this entire thing. And, the main thing I want to start off by saying is we're going to be talking about the benefits of flexible dieting. I wouldn't exactly consider this type of eating, a diet. It's just termed like that. A lot of times when people hear the word diet, they think of suffering, they think of a huge calorie restriction, they think of not being able to enjoy anything. And there's a lot of negative terms associated with it. So I just wanted to kind of preface this with saying, it is flexible dieting. It is also known as IIFYM, which is if it fits your macros, which is essentially just a way of eating to be able to still stay on track, reach your goals, have a social life. And this is what we typically incorporate for majority of our clients. And it's something that, they absolutely love because they're able to get results. And, obviously it brings me into number one, which is the main benefit of this type of eating is it's easy to follow. Now, it's been proven over and over again that the easier something is to follow, the more likely you're going to follow it. And I know that may sound like, the most simple tip and like, oh, of course I know that, but it blows my mind how many people to this day will see something and think, well, it's too easy, or, that's not going to work. Like, I need to do the hardest thing. I need to do the thing where I'm absolutely suffering. And, it's been said that the best diet is the one you can maintain that disrupts your lifestyle the least. And a lot of times people end up sabotaging themselves because they're not suffering, because they don't feel like it's like this crazy hard thing. They're not starving, being able to fit a donut into your day and still hit your calories. Like, there's no way you can do that. That's what some people think. But the truth is, it can be that easy. And obviously flexible dieting, just to give you a bit more background, is essentially having a certain amount of calories to follow. You have a protein goal. You don't exactly have to have a carb and a fat goal, but as long as you hit your calories and your protein, and obviously you're filling your day up with nutritious, high quality foods, whether someone has a donut or doesn't have a donut, those two people can still both succeed. If Josh happens to go out tonight and I have a meal prep, then we're still able to both succeed as long as you're hitting your calories and you're filling yourself up with some good quality protein and you're hitting those numbers that you're striving for. And that's what's so cool about it, is you can still have a life. It's easy to follow, and there are so many incredible benefits. A lot of people don't even realize that this can actually be a thing, but we have over 4,000 transformations, and we haven't given someone a specific meal plan and said, you can't have this, you can only have this, because we allow them to have a social life and still succeed. So number one biggest benefit is it's easy to follow, and that's why we get such high success, and that's why people love this type of diet.
Yeah, as Kyle says, the proof is in the pudding. We have 4,000 transformations. And speaking of pudding, the reason I love this particular approach to dieting, if you will. And I know Kyle really emphasized that dieting isn't the best word because it really implies restrictive short-term measures, but this should be a lifestyle change. This method of eating, it's more of a focus towards eating healthier foods, but still enjoying the unhealthy. If you've been around this podcast for a while, you know we mentioned the 80-20 rule. So we aim to have 80% whole, hearty, healthy foods. Had a great chicken sandwich for lunch. I had Greek yogurts with a bunch of seeds, granola, a lot of nice healthy fruits for breakfast. I got meal preps for dinner, but I just enjoyed a really awesome, amazing 450 calorie donut, but I made it fit in there. And the concept of not having restrictions allows you to do something long term, because if the diet you're following you couldn't do for the rest of your life, it isn't going to be something that will go, it won't go the long distance with you. Similar, I'm sure we all know someone who's done keto. They've said it's the best thing in the world. They've lost a ridiculous amount of weight. I find probably 60-70% of the time those individuals gain all of it back, and that's because it's such a nuanced diet. And yes, it has benefits, yes, it can work, but it's so hard completely neglecting carbohydrates and being in ketosis and how easily you can break the ketosis, so it presents its own problems. Whereas when you have your own balance and you allow yourself to say, hey, I will have a donut, I don't feel the need to do anything crazy, and you go have 6 donuts one day. Because also, when you don't really demonize certain foods and you allow yourself to enjoy things with reason, as long as they fit in, there's no regret towards it. And the more you can disassociate regret and emotions of happiness with your food, that's how you can really work to negate the powers of an eating disorder. Really allow yourself this really messed up kind of viewpoint where you have one thing bad and you go, the day's gone, so it's a wash, I'm just going to binge out on everything and I'll figure it out tomorrow. And then tomorrow you're like, why'd I do that? It's so bad. And you end up in this vicious cycle. Instead, I enjoyed that donut. I don't need 6 donuts. I feel totally fine. It's going to hit my goals. I'm still lean. I'm still going to push forward. And just even giving yourself the freedom to say you can have things, you'll find you crave them less. And a lot of the times my days probably look like 100% healthy or 95% healthy. And then there are some days where maybe they're 30% unhealthy, or et cetera, et cetera. But more and more, when you eat better foods, you crave more healthy foods. And I've said this before, when you eat sugary, quick, fast food junk, you're going to crave more of that. And it's designed to make you want to eat more of it and to really just maximize that. So instead, going against this mindset, taking away the all or nothing attitude and allowing yourself to have these freedoms. And there is still a cost. If my calories are super low, that donut will take away from other things I can eat. Once again, 450 calories would be a very massive salad. It'd be a ridiculous amount of vegetables. I would be stuffed to the brim. Whereas that donut, I probably could eat a few more of those. However, something I'm totally okay with. I know my meal preps are really dense in fiber and protein, really going to fill me up. I make sure to also get lots of water so I feel a good metric of satiety. And it all comes into that. And I love the analogy of a budget as well. If you are super rich, you can go out and buy designer. It's probably not going to hurt you. Whereas if you're making minimum wage and you're buying $1,000 t-shirts, that is going to absolutely nuke your budget. So you need to kind of know what calorie budget you have, and what may be in reason for you may not be in reason for someone else. But it does give you more ability to say, hey, you can have these things, you can save for them, you can enjoy them. And I do find this is just such an amazing mindset change.
Yeah, and jumping into that, honestly, one of my favorite parts about this type of eating is that you can actually learn a lot, right? There's a lot of people out there who just want to blindly follow a meal plan, thinking that that's what's going to help them. And they can follow it, and they'll probably start to see some great success within it for a certain amount of time, but they're not really learning a whole lot. And those who follow flexible dieting, who allow themselves to make the decision of what they incorporate, how they're going to do it, they learn a lot to be able to apply in whatever situation. I love the thought of, if someone were to place me in the most random area, I would still be able to navigate just from everything that I've learned over the last 7 or 8 years of following this type of eating. I learned a lot from that. I can look at specific foods and see different things that some people may not be able to. And that's not because it's my full-time job or anything, but it's because I'm able to look at foods differently because of the labels, because I've looked at, I've navigated so many different tricky situations, whether it's a big wedding day that I was going out for someone's wedding, or whether it's a travel day, or whatever the situation is. And I've always been able to make it work while staying on track, because I've looked at labels, I've pieced together in my fitness pal what I can fit in, what I can't can't fit in. And I've always just been able to make it work. And that's what's so cool about this versus blindly following something that, is just created with a meal plan with no deviation. And it gets really tough. And especially at this time of the season, I know a lot of people, are enjoying different patios and enjoying different events. And there's a lot of weddings and stuff coming up. And to be able to have that understanding that you can make whatever work is such a freeing feeling, like knowing that you can still be in a deficit, still lose or maintain your body fat, and be able to piece together whatever it is that you want is an amazing feeling. And I feel like I do have to add this here. Like if Josh were to have that exact day of eating that he said, he'll be in a really good position. If I were to just say I'm going to have Skittles and Pop-Tarts all day and just have whatever the heck I'm feeling, this isn't going to be the flexible dieting approach that I'm talking about, because I'm not going to be hitting my protein, I'm not going to be hitting my calories, and I'm not going to be filling myself up with 80-ish% healthy whole foods. Yes, I may be kind of closer to calories within the Pop-Tarts and Skittles and slushies and all that other stuff, but that's not going to be what I'm talking about here, right? You're not hitting your protein in that case, and you're just not making the best decision. So I had to add that, because sometimes people hear this type of diet and think like, oh, you're just eating junk food all day, and that's not what it is at all. Majority of the day is healthy whole foods, and then there's a little snack here and there or whatever the situation is there. So just felt like I had to add that for this tip.
Yeah, once again, knowledge is only power when applied. And I think by having a deeper understanding of macros, how they affect your bodies and their purposes, you can actually better understand how thing works. Great example, in powerlifting culture, there is a big love of candy. So people will be eating candy while they work out. They'll be in the gym eating candy. And some people have created candy companies who are in the fitness space. And we actually had one on our podcast, Max Tuning, is Sour Strips. And I remember I was in line. We were at a Gymshark event in Florida, in Miami, and the guy was saying, like, why do they have this here? I'm breaking my diet. Like, this is so dumb. They shouldn't be handing out candies at a fitness event, right? Like, he's just saying, like, oh, what the heck? They're having this bad thing for me here. But once again, like, things have their purpose. So the reason a lot of people do that is carbs are quick glycogen for your system. That's power that can be used if you're working out really hard. That's why athletes that are really burning a ton of calories, really operating at a high level, will utilize things like Gatorade. Do you need a Gatorade for your 9-to-5 desk job? Absolutely not. And this is where things do get nuanced, but you can start to understand where they have a purpose, and you can understand what carbs do for your system, what fats do, what protein does. And by having this understanding, it allows you to navigate this with more control and more freedom. And another big benefit that I just want to say is you can enjoy life way, way more. There's no more bring your Tupperwares to events, telling your friends you can't go to dinners because you're going to break your diet, or being too scared to go meet up with a friend because you don't know what to do. Now you can really go and navigate these situations however you want. You could fully eat there. You could say, I don't want to eat here. I'm just going to have a nap, or I'm just going to get a drink or whatever. You can have total freedom to really live life how you would like to live it. And that's what's so nice. Whereas being sucked into a really regimented plan of a diet, you might hate certain foods. I always love the sister's wedding example. I don't know why it's always stuck with me, but maybe it's your sister's wedding. You're out there, you don't know what to do, and you're like, I can't eat anything here. I'm going to be such a buzzkill, and you're going to be dying, or you're going to be having that Tupperware in the back. Like, it's not a realistic way to live. Whereas when you do this, and as you would adjust your phasings in life, whether it be a dieting phase, a maintenance phase, a bulking phase, you can give yourself more or less fuel and really adapt and adjust to each situation.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize they're actually shooting themselves in the foot by doing the more restrictive thing. Like, they may think that they may think that just overall it's a better choice, and it may be short term because you start to see that immediate change because, weight comes off a bit quicker and whatnot. But a lot of times it's that longer term approach that's where it starts to catch up to you. And, that's why this type of eating is it's just so powerful, because there's so many new diets coming out there. There's keto, there's carnivore, there's the military, there's, every day there's this whole new type of eating coming out, and, some of them will stick, some of them will go and whatnot. But anyway, so one of the best parts about this is it actually helps you keep weight off long term, and it just overall it works. Like, it's been tried and true. And I know sometimes it may sound too good to be true that, like, if you want an ice cream cone, you can fit it in. I remember back when I first started, like, I did not believe it at all. This was many years ago. I did not think that there was any way I could fit something in and still live a healthy lifestyle and still lose body fat and have a social life and whatnot. Like, it may sound too good to be true, but it's tried and true. A lot of it just comes down to the overall calorie intake, the overall protein. You know, obviously you do need to make sure you're quality, and I wanted to mention that like many times over, because you do want to make sure you're filling yourself up with high quality, voluminous, filling foods, because that does make a difference on your journey, especially if you are in a deficit. But, you know, overall within this entire type of eating, it's just been proven over and over. And the issue is, a lot of people, when they do the more restrictive thing, when they do the thing that, you know, is just that new craze, they will lose weight. Like Josh said, they'll lose 20 pounds, they'll lose 30 pounds. But I've seen over and over again, the amount of people that will lose it and then gain it back because of that diet that they followed, it's just not worth it. Like, it ends up killing you there. You know, it's just not killing you, but it's hard on you, right? So anyways, I just want to share, it works. It's been tried and true. And if you're looking to just get the results you deserve, stay on track, be able to incorporate fun foods, be able to go to social events and just get those results through summer, I mean, reach out to us. We'll show you how it works. And a lot of people do need that accountability during this type of stuff, because it's so easy to kind of get the concept of it and be like, oh, I can fit this fun food in. But a lot of times mentally, it's a big change for some people, right? To be able to, you know, start to keep track of calories, hit their protein, you know, start to navigate all the numbers that are laid out for them. And that's why we can help you. All you have to do is send us a message with the keyword real results to our Instagram at ColossusFit, ColossusFit. We'll be happy to take care of you. And anything else, Coach Josh?
No, I mean, once again, we've done this with over 4,000 of our clients and their transformations, our personal transformations, and we look forward to doing this for you and for you to be our next success story. Definitely, you are worth the investment. Send us that message. Let us do all the hard work, explain how this works, hold your hand through it, give you the instructions to a better life. But I just want to thank you for tuning in today. And once again, I'm telling you, stop looking for those quick magic pills or shakes or special food or the thing you need to cut out. That is not the way to live. You need to create a system around you, your life, and your schedule, and this is how you do it. So thanks for tuning in today. Peace out.